2/10, an original pilot written by Allison Moon. Interior funeral home office day. Closed up on an old shitty printer ejecting a flyer, George Kajowski, beloved patriarch, with a crappily Xerox picture of the dead man 4 times per page. Closed up on scissors haphazardly cutting the paper into 4 quadrants. Interior funeral home chapel continuous. Close up on the slim stack of tiny funeral announcements placed next to a dusty silk bouquet on the funeral home's entry table. Interior funeral home chapel day. The Kajowskis trickle into the discount, non-denominational chapel while the funeral director waits anxiously in the not a name. Greg, 41, is first. Crew cut wearing his finest polo shirt. He blots nascent tears with his fists. Toby, 34, trails behind wearing a brand new motorcycle suit, moving with all the grace of Robocop.
Did you make Dad funeral trading cards?
They charge per page.
You could have at least shelled out for color.
We all know what he looks like.
Toby drops into a pew. Greg genuflects, then slips in across the aisle. Andrea, 44, is next to enter, wearing a smart, conservative pantsuit. She slides next to Greg.
Sorry, hun. Traffic out of Boston was a nightmare.
Referring the flyer photo.
Is this a QR code?
Sasha, 30, girl boss, glam, and member of the Menshika Pequot tribe is next in. She starts the boisterous greeting just as the funeral director begins to speak.
Is this everyone?
Kajowskis!
Just another minute.
Is this it?
Who else would there be?
It's just yeesh.
Where's your dad?
He insisted on walking.
We have another viewing at...
Josh, 39, pansexual, polyamorous partner, 2 hotties, Amaranth and Kendrick in tow. He's going for sexily disheveled, but just looks hungover. The hotties grab the pew in the back. Josh slides in behind Toby and squeezes his shoulder.
Whoa, you been working out?
It's an armor jacket.
Nice. You crying, man?
Don't shame your brother for having emotions.
I'm not shaming him for having emotions. I'm shaming him for having that emotion in this situation.
Your father died.
Couldn't have happened to a nicer guy.
Are we ready?
An assistant wheels out a gurney with a body beneath the sheet.
You didn't even buy a casket?
What, so they could burn it?
The assistant lowers the sheet, revealing George Kajowski. Unembalmed, unmade up, just a dead guy on a gurney.
Well, I'll leave you to say your goodbyes. You have 4 minutes.
Are we supposed to touch him or something?
What, to make sure?
I don't know. To say goodbye?
I'm good.
I'm just saying he's gonna be a bag of ashes in an hour.
Then you do it.
Doesn't feel consensual.
Greg approaches the gurney, reaches for his father's hands. Just as he's about to make contact, Greg cuffs Toby on the head and returns to his seat.
How'd he feel?
He felt dead.
That's a relief.
All right, everyone. Thank you. Good Lord.
He jumps at the sight of Mark, 47, who's entered the chapel looking like a Sasquatch, carrying a walking stick and a camping backpack. The hotties turn and jump too.
Thank you, Reverend. My man. We're good here.
Hey, big brother.
You missed the whole thing.
Yeah, this isn't really my scene.
You don't know what you're missing, man. I'm hitting up 2 more next weekend.
They exit just as a new grieving family enters. A woman wails and leans on her friend.
Yeesh. What's her problem?
Exterior parking lot day. The Kajowski brothers, Andrea and Sasha, stand in the funeral home parking lot deciding what's next. The hotties hover nearby.
So is there like a will reading or something?
Jesus, Josh.
I'm not expecting anything. I'm just wondering if Dad had anything.
What, you think he was sitting on some secret stash while living off government checks?
Would that be so out of character for this family?
He only had 2 months left on his insurance. It's good he checked out when he did.
Come on,
Really,
man.
Toby?
I'm just saying, Dad died broke. Big surprise.
I think your brother is just asking for a little sensitivity.
I'm sorry, which one of my brothers wiped poop off Dad's balls for the past year? Was it you? Or was it you?
Okay, Toby,
Feel
you made
mature,
your
bro.
point.
Hey, these are the realities of the human body.
Who
I
had
find
groceries
it
delivered
so
every week?
detestable.
I kept him
Are you shitting me?
Considering how
You
much
cheated on
enjoyed
every
everybody.
wife you had. That's your mold
Hey,
ground.
at least it was
Three
one
steps?
at a time.
I took him to doctor's appointments. I brought fresh clothes for him. That shirt he's wearing in there,
Well,
I brought that for
I
him.
hope you didn't like it too much because it's literally being burned right now.
Okay, fam, I think we just need to take a beat and calm down.
I am so sorry. We're not usually like this. I'm Andrea, and this
Don't bother. We're never gonna see them again.
Excuse me?
Josh, Kendrick, and I have a really good thing going, and maybe you should focus on your own family.
During the melee, Mark has removed his pack and pulled out a bullwhip. Then crack.
What the fuck?
Mark Kadrowski, I am impressed.
It's a bullwhip.
It's a single tail.
Do you have to make everything sexual?
It's a whip. It's already sexual.
Zora?
Catwoman.
Huh.
Dad, did you bring your copy of the will?
I don't get mail.
You do get mail. You just don't read your mail. Fine.
She digs through her chic briefcase.
What is that?
Grandpa's will.
Is that a Netflix DVD sleeve?
They still have
Netflix
those?
made DVDs?
What's the movie?
Westward Ho.
Greg reads.
Boys, donate my things to the Out Club. You get 2 tenths? Good luck.
Does anyone else think that last bit sounded a little bit menacing?
2 tenths? What the hell is that?
Sasha Googles it on her phone.
Is it some sort of pun?
Cool. So we inherited wordplay.
Maybe it's like 2 actual tenths, like some moldy shit he held onto from the army, like one last, screw you, boys.
Sounds like Dad.
Oh. Camp 2 tenths. It's like 90 minutes away.
Was it that camp Dad took us to forever ago?
I don't remember that.
You weren't born yet. North a ways past Winnipesaukee.
Oh, right, with the lake and the slide.
Yeah. It was the one vacation I remember Mom and Dad happy.
Your father owned a campground? Why?
Beats me.
Nice to know Dad spent our inheritance on fly fishing.
There was never going to be an inheritance.
$10 says it's a shithole.
No bet.
Okay, so you gonna check it out?
What, and skip out on our wake reservation at Sizzlers?
We pulled the kids out of school for the rest of the week.
And I just got dumped, so
Sorry, honey.
whatever. He was boring.
Great. So, road trip.
Exterior New Hampshire Highway Day. A caravan of Kadrowskis led by Greg in his minivan, followed by Sasha in her Tesla, and Toby bringing up the rear on his brand new crotch rocket he can't shift. Interior, Greg's minivan continuous.
I'll be back in Boston Tuesday through Friday. I've got to prep Robert for his re-election campaign press conference.
Could you maybe take a Concord-based job? This commute to Massachusetts.
It's only an hour from Manchester.
Tabitha's lacrosse game is on Friday.
I've got it in the calendar.
You'll be late.
I'll leave early.
Boston traffic.
Tabitha 11 looks up from her cell phone.
You're always late.
I always get
You
there.
missed her only goal last time.
But I always get there.
Interior, Sasha's Tesla continuous. Josh sits in the passenger seat. His sweeties are in the back canoodling.
Can you please tell your models to not splooge on the leather?
You heard my niece. No splooging.
Yes, Daddy.
Speaking of, where's your dad?
Gross. And hitchhiking. I gave him a head start. We'll grab him around the corner.
What if someone else picked him up already?
Exterior, highway continuous. Toby struggles on his motorcycle. He stalls out, restarts, almost drops it, finally gets it going, takes a turn too fast, almost drops it. Interior, Tesla continuous.
And here we go.
She pulls alongside Mark.
Hey, brother. Come on. Hey, stranger. Where are you headed?
North a ways.
Hop in.
Sasha pops the trunk, while Mark is stowing his things.
How long has he been like this?
Since Mom died.
Your mom died like 9 months ago. What's his deal?
He's gotten into survivalism, I guess.
Like camping?
Like eating bugs.
Oh, I've done that. There's this fabulous cantina in Tulum that rinses margaritas with ground up ants.
Interior, minivan continuous.
We're going to need the interview questions at least 48 hours in advance. He's the governor, of course we can. That's just standard, Marshall. We'll call them back and don't let them go until they send them over. No, I'm not going to... Marshall? Hello?
Call dropped.
Please tell me we're close.
Mom, the internet isn't working.
Because we're deep in Hicksville, sweetheart. Play one of your offline games.
Or admire the beautiful scenery.
Cows are boring.
And their farts are killing the planet.
They go to your school.
I teach athletics, not the consequences of cow farts.
Interior, Tesla continuous. Mark is wedged between the now disconcerted hotties. He's rummaging through a cardboard box.
Dad, what you doing back there?
Nothing.
You are clearly doing something. What's he doing, Amaranth?
I mean, I don't want to get involved in any family drama.
He's got a plastic bag of dirt.
And he's like playing with it.
Dad, no.
In the car, Mark? You're playing with Dad's ashes in the car?
Not my leather seats.
There's a metal tag I need to remove from the bag.
Ew, no.
Can you just save this for later?
Why?
I don't know, because my beautiful partners are both visibly distressed watching you root through our father's remains.
And my seats.
I got Dad under my fingernails.
Please stop being so morbid.
This is so twisted.
I need some air.
Amaranth opens her window and ashes swirl around the car.
Pull over!
Kendrick tries to Exterior, New Hampshire Highway shoulder day. Ashes cover the 5 Tesla occupants. Kendrick cleans Amaranth's face with his scarf. Toby pulls up.
What's going on?
Give me that.
Josh grabs the box of ashes, digs out the medallion, and chucks it into the woods.
That's not how you do that.
It's done.
No, we're done. What's your Venmo?
What?
Never mind, I've got it.
Kendrick types into his phone. Toby's phone cha-chings.
Holy crap.
Agog, he hands Kendrick the motorcycle keys. Kendrick types more on his phone, and Toby's phone cha-chings again. Toby hands over the helmet. Kendrick grabs Josh's face and kisses him hard.
Don't text us. We've moved on.
Kendrick and Amaranth do a synchronized dismissive hair flip. They mount the motorcycle and ride away.
Did that guy just buy your motorcycle?
Toby holds up his phone for Sasha. Her eyes widen.
Damn. Coachella's gonna be awkward this year.
Why didn't you pay for a casket if you were sleeping with a rich dude?
Money's not herpes. You can't get it just by sleeping with someone who has it.
Yeah. You'd be the world's first bisexual billionaire.
I have my suspicions about Warren Buffett.
You probably do have herpes at least.
No shame in the game, brother.
Melinda Gates is at least a little bi, right?
Oh, for sure.
Interior, manufactured home, Camp 2 Tents Day. An 80s model manufactured house, linoleum and wood paneling. A brochure rack near the entrance highlights local attractions and oddities, including a dated flyer for 2 Tents reading, 2 Tents, come to 2 Tents. Katie, 28, film and uptight, works in the home office and sees the Kudrowskis pull into the dirt parking area.
Mom, we have customers.
Exterior, parking area continuous. The Kudrowskis mill around the dirt lot.
This does feel familiar.
I think Grandpa took me to a powwow here when I was a kid.
Our dad took you to a powwow?
You could just go to a powwow.
Oh, no, I'd be afraid of making an ass of myself.
You definitely would.
Josh references the 2 giant stucco teepees at the entrance.
Speaking of Toby, that's racist, right?
Hey!
The region's wrong, but the painting's not bad.
Is that a deer smoking a pipe?
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Navarro, 24 black, oddly well dressed for a campground attendant, jogs up.
Welcome to Camp 2 Tents. Are you interested in booking?
This is gonna sound weird, but
Marilyn Navarro, 62, a Filipina Mrs. Claus, rushes from the house to the Kudrowskis. She pulls Mark into a hug, weeping into his chest. Then she moves to the next and the next, slathering them with maternal love and condolences.
Oh, you sweet boy. Oh, you poor boys.
Katie comes running out next.
Mom, what are you doing?
Kitty,
Who are these people?
Kitty, Kevin, I would like you to meet your brothers.
Exterior, 2 Tents, picnic area day. The 2 families sit around picnic tables. Greg's kids play in the lake in the background.
I was tired of the city. We used to come here when Katie was a baby, so when it went on the market, we bought it.
Nice to know I had to strip through college so Dad could buy a love nest.
that's not why you stripped.
Excuse me for liking a little affection to go with my fast stacks.
How often was he here?
1 or 2 times a month.
All those business trips.
So you knew about us?
He was so proud of you boys. But I never knew that home wasn't so nice with your mom and the drinking.
Did he tell you how she drank because he was never around?
That's not entirely true.
He left her to raise 4 boys alone.
It's not like he helped when he was there.
Are you seriously siding with Dad's side chick?
Okay, Toby, there's no need.
Toby scoffs and storms off. Kevin follows.
He tried to be a good father.
He was a good father.
Baby girl, that isn't about you.
Of course it is. Papa left our home to 4 complete strangers, at least one of whom is kind of a prick.
Language.
Paul?
She's right, he is kind of a prick.
We all are.
Speak for yourself.
We were all raised by the same shitty parents.
Language.
Crummy parents. None of us gets to take the high ground here.
And let's not forget, we left Toby alone with them.
That wasn't by design.
Of course not. Just turning 18 and escaping.
But I'm sure it didn't feel that way to our 12-year-old baby brother.
Having to navigate that shit show alone.
Marilyn, what can we do here?
You can give us our campground back.
Well, it was never really yours to begin with.
Excuse me? Papa taught me how to swim in that lake.
Dad taught you how to swim?
Did he just throw you in?
He literally held me in his arms and taught me.
Are we sure this is the same George Kadrowski?
I would buy it back from you, but we spent all money on your daddy's nursing home.
Well, that's a missing piece.
Yeah, because you guys didn't help.
Some of us couldn't help.
We helped. Elder care is just obscenely expensive.
We have to put off a lot of plan repair when Papa got sick.
Yeah, like what?
Dad, leaking roof, new paver, the dog is sagging. The kitchen walk-in doesn't keep anything cold.
Summer is right around the corner, and we've got bookings. But we're still not turning much of a profit.
We want to expand, but to do that, we need more pit, toilets, and another well.
Mark takes in the property with new eyes, gears turning. Exterior woods day. Toby is fighting with his busted vape pen.
Hey, brother. You okay?
Not your brother.
Technically...
I don't give a shit about technically. I'm full up on brothers. Applications are closed.
I know what it's like to be the baby of the family.
Don't do that.
And I also know that Papa could be kind of a jerk. I think he was just harder on us boys.
I mean, you're not even, forgive me for pointing out the obvious, but...
Yeah, I'm adopted. But hey, at least I know he wanted me. Katie wasn't planned.
I was an afterthought too. When Mom got drunk, she'd say, Dad wanted to abort me.
Ouch.
I never believed her, but then she also used to say that Dad had a second secret family, so...
Is that tobacco, or... Come with me.
Exterior lakeshore day. Josh, Mark, and Greg skip stones. Greg is shockingly good.
It is really nice here.
You want to give up your Bushwick flop house for this?
It's an influencer incubator co-op in Greenpoint, and they kicked me out for giving half the residents chlamydia. I was the one who told them, because I get tested regularly like a gentleman. When was the last time you two were tested?
I'm married.
Whatever, I'm over New York.
You mean New York is over you?
What are you saying?
I don't know. It's surprisingly gorgeous here, and apparently it's ours.
Except for the issue of the current owners.
We're the current owners. They're technically our tenants.
And technically our family.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to see some proof of that.
You get paid to wear expensive clothes. Why would you give that up to chop wood?
I don't know. Why did you trade deodorants for pressed sawdust?
My wife died after 5 years of agony, after which nothing about modern life made any sense anymore.
Okay, fair point. I, too, am experiencing an existential crisis of sorts.
They stopped making your favorite brand of spray tan?
That's not even funny because spray tans are so ridiculously retro. I wouldn't expect you to understand that. But beauty trends in general have less meaning since I've become unemployable.
Come on, man.
After Dandelion dumped me, I started eating carbs again, just to, cope, and I gained some weight. My clients fired me and my agents dropped me. I've got nothing. I'm a middle-aged male model with a paunch. I don't exactly have a lot of runway here. No pun intended.
So,
why not make a go of it? Sasha showed me the websites. It's terrible and they have no social media presence.
But they hate us.
The daughter hates us.
yeah, Marilyn is a peach. Way nicer than our actual mom.
Bro.
He's right. Marilyn seems cool. I get what Dad saw in her.
So you want me to quit my athletics director job at a nice private school to move cinder blocks?
The basketball court needs resurfacing first.
And then you could bring in the sports camps.
Kevin and Katie combined look like they weigh 200 pounds soaking wet. They could probably use some brawn around here.
The Kudrowskis are good for one thing, it's true.
I don't know. This all feels weird. Why would Dad leave us this place?
He didn't leave it to us. He brought us to it.
One last screw you.
Or one first and only, I'm sorry.
What about Toby? he'll never go for it.
Exterior woods day. Kevin leads Toby down a rugged trail, then opens the door to a greenhouse, revealing a modest but healthy marijuana crop.
It's beautiful.
And it's ours.
It's yours.
Well, we're family.
Exterior lakeshore day. Toby and Kevin lay on the dock, feet dangling in the water, stoned and happy.
It's so peaceful here.
Wait until you see the stars.
Greg, Mark, and Josh happen upon them.
Oh, hey! Oh, my brothers are here! Oh, my brothers are here. Okay. Being here, guys, I feel like I understand Dad more. You know?
I don't think Dad would understand you, but okay.
You remember when Dad took us go-kart riding at the place in Vermont?
That was Uncle Fred.
They were both there.
Dad took work calls in the lobby. Fred was the one who drove with us.
Papa took us to New York once at Christmas time to see the tree. He was pretty grumpy about it the whole time, though.
That was Dad.
He only knew how to parent using objects.
Pardon?
Oh yeah. One day when I was like 13, I came home to find a stick of deodorant just sitting on my dresser. No notes, no context, just an implied, son, you stink.
You probably did.
I'm sure I did, but still.
When I started sleeping with my first girlfriend, a box of condoms just magically appeared on my bed.
When I got really into Bruce Lee, one day, a stack of karate magazines just appeared on the coffee table. And when I asked him about them, he just left the room.
He never, beats you or anything, did he?
Nah, that would mean touching us. He never touched us.
He threatened us with the belt a bunch.
Dad ascribed to the John Wayne School of Parenting. Neglect, stoicism.
Shame, compulsory masculinity.
Tough love, suck it up.
He called me sissy a lot.
Did you ever meet his father?
I did. That guy made Dad look like a golden retriever. Puppy. I mean, God, what a monster. It's a miracle Dad survived into adulthood.
Was he happy here, at least?
You know, he wasn't a warm man, but he did love the heck out of Mom. And he doted on Katie in his own way. I don't know. But I think this place helped him feel comfortable in his own skin at least. Which I guess is a big deal for a man who grew up the way he did.
The men silently admired the slanting sun across the water, each releasing a tiny bit of resentment they've held against their father. In the distance, they watch Marilyn show Sasha and Andrea around while Katie plays with the kids by the water. It's all just a tiny bit idyllic.
Oh, I have a great idea.
Exterior, lakeshore dusk. The Kodrowskis and Navarro stand together on the lakeshore. Mark reaches into his backpack and pulls out the box of ashes.
Does anyone want to say anything?
Bye, Grandpa. Thanks for raising a great dad.
Mark wraps his arm around Sasha's shoulders.
We didn't understand each other, and we didn't like each other. But I'm sorry you're gone.
I'll miss you, Pops.
Bye, Grandpa.
How about you, Mark?
Marilyn, Katie, Kevin, anything to add?
I love you very much. And now you are dead. Goodbye, darling.
George Kodrowski was a complicated man who still somehow managed to craft a life rich with love and beauty. May we all be so lucky.
With that, Mark places the box on the water and pushes it gently. It barely moves. He uses his foot to try to nudge it further. No luck.
Should we get a stick, or...?
The breeze is...
Maybe just...
Mark takes off his shoes and wades into the water, taking the box and gently tossing it further. The family stands watching, waiting for it to sink, but...
Isn't it supposed to dissolve?
It's cardboard, not Alka-Seltzer.
Toby chucks a rock at the box. It grazes it, but the box still floats.
That's a bit.
Greg throws a bigger rock and nails it squarely on the lid.
All right, that's what we're doing now.
Andrea ushers the kids away.
We'll meet you at the car.
Would you like to stay for dinner? I've got a pot of roasted cooking, plenty for everyone.
That sounds really good.
Marilyn, Sasha, Katie, Andrea, and the kids head up towards the house. The boys keep throwing rocks. The box remains undefeated. Interior, Navarro House evening. The combined families pass dishes around folding tables, all 11 members crammed tightly into the tiny dining room. There's a tenuous warmth and contentment. Outside the window, the box still floats in the darkening lake.
Is Grandpa just gonna float like that forever?
No, honey. He'll sink eventually.
The family shares appreciations for the meal and start finding a familial rhythm. Exterior lake night. Mark strips naked on the lakeshore and silently wades into the chilly water. He takes the box, still floating, and walks it deeper into the water. With reverence, Mark gently pulls the box beneath the water.
Bye, Dad.
The lake is still and beautiful. In the distance, we hear the family laughing around the dinner table. Fade out. End of pilot.
Water from the Rock, written by Allison Moon. A series of concrete pools dug into a looming rock face. They have organic forms like adobe. Patio furniture, a work table. Off to one side, a house. Water trickles through the pools, a pathetic little stream. Then a gush of water into the pools, filling them, churning, roiling. The water slows and stills and eventually drains. Later.
Hello? Hello? I need some help, please.
Chloe enters. She is quite pregnant.
Hello? Sorry. Hi. I need some help. I saw a motorcyclist hit a tree. I'm not getting any cell service, and
Husband's napping. Phone's in his room.
I just need to call someone.
He dead? Then you got time.
It's just, he wasn't wearing a helmet, and...
Chloe exits and returns with a glass of water. She hands it to him and he studies.
Sorry. It was just... Is this a hot springs or something?
Used to be. You can sit.
Jason moves to a patio chair and sits, calming.
There's a new bridge going in. Construction pierced the aquifer. Now all we get is the occasional gush and dribble.
Sounds like my sex life. Sorry for bursting in like this. I've never seen a dead body before.
You get a good look?
Yeah. Went off the road and face planted into a tree. There was just kind of a splatter around his head, and he was like hovering, like kind of weirdly perched. I guess the bike crumpled in such a way that I tried to turn around and head back to the town, but the road is just so narrow up there. I drove until I saw a turnoff. Does this cut through to the highway?
No.
Damn, I thought it might, but...
Now you're here.
You must be the husband.
He saw a biker go down.
Those boulders in your drive make it hard to turn around.
That's the idea, Silas.
I'm Jason. Could I call someone or...
What kind of bike?
I don't really know motorcycles. Maybe a Harley. It was beefy, leather, chrome type.
Whereabouts did you say? Where?
Probably 5 miles back where the road takes that sharp turn left. He didn't make that turn.
Oh yeah, that'll happen. Hope it wasn't too messy for you. How you feeling, Mom?
Silas kisses her forehead and exits.
You been here long? The West is something else. Where I come from, the nature is lush, smooth stone, round top mountains, everything's sharp.
Younger volcanoes.
Guess so.
They're coming.
Who are they sending?
Lionel and Richie. What?
Just like Lionel and Richie? Lionel Richie? Dancing on the hill. Hello?
Delphine enters, holding a basket of laundry.
Hello?
Bad water today, Delphine.
Damn it, Ishi's been festering.
Just leave them by the pool. I'll get to them when the flow comes back.
You shouldn't be doing shit, girl.
Should I go meet them? Did they, like the police or whatever, they want to...
They'll take care of it.
Great! Guess I'll be on my way. Thanks for the help. It's a lovely place you got here. Sorry about the water. All right.
Delphine and Chloe go to the pools and sort the laundry.
Delph, you got a fresh pot on?
Should be. May need to warm it up.
Hi. Sorry. My car won't start.
I didn't hear anything.
One of them hybrids?
Electric. Trying to do my part.
I wouldn't know where to begin with that. No, might.
Sorry, who?
Chloe's baby brother.
He'll be back tomorrow.
Do you have... Could I get a jump or something?
Let me check the shed.
The women watch Jason as they work. Silas returns, carrying a battery jumper and a ratchet. The two men exit together. Jason re-enters, heading to the house, trailed by Silas, who holds his car's 12-volt battery.
I'll just grab your phone.
You stop right there. You don't walk into a person's house without permission. Who raised you?
Sorry, I was just supposed to meet some friends up in Zion tonight. A camping trip.
That's a 4-hour drive.
No way.
He pulls out his cell phone and shows them a map.
See?
That bridge ain't there.
But it's on the map.
Map's wrong.
It's Google Maps.
Can Google build you a bridge?
You can see it from the riverbank. 4 pylons and some piles of rebar.
That's the bridge I was talking to you about. It's not built yet.
If I could just call them.
They won't have service up there either.
Right, maybe a tow?
Ain't no truck that can get down that drive.
Sunday, besides. Could call Joey.
He's hunting till Thursday.
You sure have a lot of friends for being so far from civilization. Listen, I just want to get out of your hair. What are my options here?
You got camping gear in that little coop out there? Pop your tents back here. You can wash up in the pools. Noah will drive you into town tomorrow.
Well, okay.
I'll add some water to the soup.
Thanks, sis. Where are you coming from?
Just taking some time off and exploring the hidden corners of the country.
Hidden corners?
My friend actually sent me a map of hot springs. I can add yours to it if...
Water for that.
Sure. Just when it comes back.
So an e-car, hey?
Lots of copper in those. Nickel.
Manganese. So, what are you doing for a living here, Jason?
Web security, InfoSec.
Government or civilian?
I'm up for a job at the Department of the Interior, so I'm trying to get a sense of all that terrain managed by the federal government. So much untouched
Ain't
land.
no square foot that ain't been touched. This planet's a prom queen and humanity is a dumb virgin just trying to cop a feel.
That's vivid.
I'll help you with your gear.
I got him. You just take care.
I don't mean to be a burden.
You're fine. With the new copper mine, we're just a little more touchy than usual. Your presence is welcome. If you're lucky, he might even ask you to carry some heavy things.
Scene 2, after dinner. Jason's tent is set up to the side.
Delphine, the duck was incredible.
That boy's got an eye for hunting.
Always has.
Who are we talking about?
My brother Noah. Even as a kid, he preferred killing the mean critters.
Ducks are mean?
Rapist.
Well, whoever hens can sleep safer tonight.
He's still hunting?
In a manner of speaking.
Delphine clears the table.
Get you a beer, Jay?
Jason takes it. Silas takes a swig and exhales in Chloe's face. She breathes it in gratefully. Jason observes this, curious.
Beer's my favorite.
And my stank-ass breath is the only way she gets to enjoy it.
The kiss. Jason points to the empty pools.
How long ago did this happen?
Delphine re-enters with a bowl of berries for the table.
Still happening.
Started in earnest about a year ago.
Try to get the county to take responsibility, but those fuckheads don't give a shit.
Went to meetings, got the local tribes involved.
Nada.
But the water comes back?
Sometimes it flows, sometimes it trickles.
With each new pylon they drill for each bridge, it gets worse.
The surges are getting further apart.
Also, those slimy fat cats can get to their copper mines faster to feed your circuit boards.
Are y'all environmentalists or something?
Is that a shock, Mr. Electric Car?
I actually minored in horticulture.
Golf courses?
Cemeteries?
Business parks for some reason.
Turfcraft, sure. That was part of my education, but I branched out, so to speak.
Fruit trees?
Eurasian vegetables?
Yeah, but I took a class on native species.
Huh. Didn't stick with it though, huh?
The cost of living, you know. How long have y'all been here?
Our family stewarded this land for generations. These tubs have soothed and healed thousands. Probably tens of thousands if you count pre-recorded history.
What's funny?
Sure, the water feels good, but healed?
Guess how old I am?
Hey.
Guess.
I'm not good with things like that.
No, go on. You won't offend me.
40.
I'm 76 years old. Oh man, I'm just messing with you. Tell him about your cancer, Del.
I had cancer. The doctor said there was nothing I could do. Best to just go home and wait for death.
Seriously?
Del lived up in Spokane for years. She just showed up here one day.
To die in my ancestral lands.
It didn't happen though.
It did not.
You're saying the water healed you.
I'm saying I lived.
Chloe stands and gathers some dishes. Delphine leaps up to help.
Gorgeous, isn't she?
Hmm?
Chloe, my lady.
Oh, she definitely has the glow.
The what?
The pregnancy thing you always hear about. I always thought it was like rah-rah, feminist BS, you know, but I think Chloe's got it.
You hear that, babe? You've got the glow.
Silas pulls Chloe onto his lap. They nuzzle and kiss. Just one click too intimate for Jason's comfort.
You ever been married, Jason?
Huh? No.
I recommend it.
I imagine you would.
Pardon?
You two seem good together.
Cooperation and harmony. It's what we're here for. With the earth, with each other. Marriage is a commitment to harmony.
That's not my experience.
How would you know?
Or my understanding, rather.
All right then, well, we're gonna hit the hay. Shitter's over there, that way if you need it. We keep farm hours around here, so apologies if our hammering wakes you up.
Silas helps Chloe up and they exit. Delphine follows.
And then tomorrow we go into town?
Sure, man.
Night.
Night, all.
Jason sits in his chair, admiring the stars, drinking his beer. Scene. Late night. Jason is passed out in his chair, lightly snoring. Water begins to flow through the springs. It burbles and churns. Silas and Chloe race outside. They strip and ease into the pools. Chloe and Silas start having sex. Their giggles and moans wake Jason up. Jason is still awkwardly stuck. He stays frozen until they're finished. They exit the hot springs, dry off, and head back inside. Once he's certain they're gone, he stands and moves to his tent. Chloe enters with a holding 2 mugs.
Tea?
Sorry, I didn't mean to, you know.
You didn't do anything wrong.
She passes him a mug. She moves to the edge of the pool and dangles her legs in the water. Jason follows, but is squeamish about touching the freshly fucked water.
Ice can get cold in the canyon. It's nice to have the water to warm your bones.
Jason relents and dips his legs into the pool.
I thought pregnant women weren't supposed to soak in hot water.
The water is what got me pregnant in the first place, so I'm not concerned. At least Silas seems to think so.
Ah.
He was married before me. Couldn't get her pregnant, no matter how hard they tried. Got tested, and his sperm count was 0. Usually they're lazy or few, but not 0. Blames his time in the army, but he moved back here and he knocked me up 3 times in a row.
He credits the water.
I had a lot of unprotected sex when I was younger. Never got pregnant, still here.
Where are your kids?
Dead. Miscarriages. Guess the water only helps so much. You like the tea? Noah and I gather nettles from the land.
Like stinging nettles?
Boiling knocks the stingers off.
Collecting them must be a bitch.
I kind of like this thing. Things should fight back when you try to hurt them.
Is that what you're hoping the spring will do? Fight back?
Cruelty to an enemy is kindness to kin.
As long as you know who's kin.
Round here, it's not hard to tell.
Is there honey in this?
We have hives at the edge of our land. I've been wanting to move them closer, but Silas says they're our first line of defense.
Against?
The mine petitioned the county for a construction easement on our land. When their equipment started getting damaged, they sent out armed guards. They're a few acres back. You won't see them unless they want you to.
Jesus. What was causing the damage?
Probably just lying for an excuse to terrorize us.
Chloe finishes her tea and stands.
Thank you for your hospitality. I'm in your bed.
Not for long. Good night.
Scene. Dawn. Noah enters, carrying a shotgun and several dead waterfowl in one hand and a banged-up motorcycle muffler in the other. He puts everything on his work table. He spots the tent and stops, curious. He opens the zipper, startling Jason awake. He leaps back. Jason exits the tent.
Sorry. I'm Jason. Your family invited me to stay the night. Do you, talk?
Jason, now fully awake, surveys the space. He puts on his sneakers and grabs a camping towel. He goes to the pools. The water is nearly gone. He bends down to reach to the bottom, pulls a cupped hand of water and splashes his face.
Careful with that water. The good stuff drains off first.
What's left?
Just turbid. Can give you hives and boils, biblical shit. Probably those brain amoebas too, so don't go snorting that stuff.
Wasn't planning on it.
You got work boots?
Just these.
Backpacking and sneakers?
Is that bad?
I mean, if you don't mind rattlers nipping at your shins.
When did you want to head to town?
Gotta put some stuff together here first. See what supplies we'll need.
We?
So you eat my food, you drink my beer, you hear my wife climax. Gotta earn your keep, man.
No, I mean, that was not
I'm
intentional.
razzing you, dude. We weren't hiding it.
Sure.
Hey, but you still did. So you know, you owe me.
Happy to help.
Good. Get dressed and meet me up by the shed.
Scene. Delphine and Chloe sit outside. Chloe snips twine off a long coil, measuring 10 inches each time and stacking it in a tidy pile. Delphine peels carrots into a compost bucket.
How big was Ethan?
Not now. Chloe. Ethan. 1 pound, 10 ounces, 12 and a half inches.
Ethan, 1 pound, 10 ounces, 12 and a half inches. Samantha, 1 pound, 4 ounces, 11 inches.
Samantha. 1 pound, 4 ounces, 11 inches. Cooper, 15 ounces, 9 and a half inches.
Cooper, 15 ounces, 9 and a half inches.
Delphine starts to hum an old spiritual style song. Chloe joins her in harmony. It's clear this is a ritual for them. Noah enters carrying a battery array panel from an electric car.
Nice work, Noah.
Do you know how to use that?
I'll figure it out.
How many are there?
4.
That's good.
Very.
Silas enters, sweaty.
I made lemonade.
Yahtzee, thanks sis.
Silas pours himself a glass and drinks it down.
How did it go down there?
5th one's being prepped.
When's the drill scheduled?
With the foreman down for the count, hopefully delayed.
Head count?
2. The same Proud Boy cosplaying dipshits, but they won't be trouble.
Jason enters, sweaty. He drops his backpack.
That's a beautiful river.
It's something.
Jason sees the battery panels.
What you got here?
Noah's thinking
Wait. Did you take the battery panels out of my car?
He said he's fixing it.
No, he did. He hasn't said a word to me.
Yeah.
What?
I'm fixing it.
No, he isn't.
I reckon he knows more about your car than you do.
Noah here's got a degree in electrical engineering.
Okay, but you don't need to take off the battery panels to fix the car.
You sure about that?
You said you'd take me into town.
Yeah, and what were you hoping to get there? A caramel macchiato?
A phone, for one.
We got a phone. Who you want to call?
A tow truck?
Truck won't get down the driveway.
We told you that already.
A friend then, to come get me.
Didn't you say all your friends were camping?
Silas pours Jason a glass of lemonade.
Listen, man. It's nice having fresh blood around here. And another set of muscles is good too. How about you stay a few days? How about you catch your friends once they get back in range?
I enjoyed having you here.
You know what? We'll have our buddy come down on Thursday to check your car.
If Noah doesn't get it running in the meantime.
Noah exits toward the car.
People used to pay big bucks to stay here.
Another fine point. All you have to do is help me with some grunt work. Maybe you'll even get to enjoy one of the water surges.
Noah returns with the other 3 battery panels.
It'll be all right. I promise.
Fuck this!
He storms off in the direction of the car.
We'll keep your gear safe for you.
Noah heaves a panel on the work table. Delphine grabs another to help. They all settle back into their work for a few moments. Jason storms back on, fuming. He goes to the battery panels, grabs one, and heaves it into the pools.
Whoa!
What are you doing?
You said this water heals! Then I'll fix my car!
Jason, please.
Jason takes the next and heaves it into the pool.
I don't know what you're trying to prove, man.
Jesus, Noah, will you stop him?
Jason grabs the next and heaves it. Noah grabs the last one and calmly walks it over to the pools and sets it.
You done?
Noah retrieves the batteries.
It doesn't work like that.
How do you know? All this shit about bridges and aquifers? I just want to go home.
And where is that?
Jason marches to his tent and zips himself inside. Chloe exits into the house and returns holding a mug of tea. She nods to the others to leave. They do, but Noah stays off to the side, out of view.
Hey, Jason. I brought you some tea. I'm alone. Want to talk?
Jason unzips the tent.
We're strangers.
Yeah.
I'm sleeping in your yard in a tent.
You are.
What's happening here?
Chloe takes a chair and pulls it next to the tent and sits. She hands him the tea.
You know how they say that the Milky Way looks like a stripe in the sky because we're on the edge of it?
No.
Okay, so the Milky Way is a disc shape, like disc/spiral shape in reality.
Okay.
But we see it like a band across the sky because we're in it, looking across, like a plate from the perspective of a pea sitting on the edge. You're in something now, Jason, but you're on the edge of it, looking across. You're not seeing the cycle. The spring is dying, but life is about to come back. We're going to make it so.
None of this has to do with me.
Maybe not. Silas is a practical man. He thinks religion and magic are equally bunk.
That sounds depressing.
Well, if we only have this life, this planet, and if we're the only species who has evolved with long-term thinking and problem-solving skills, the onus is on us to fight against the entropy that our species is accelerating. Feels poetic, if not optimistic.
I don't get it.
Well, I don't either. I'm willing to believe there's something extraordinary happening here. You showed up at our door when you did for a reason.
What reason?
I don't know yet, but you're too perfect to ignore.
Chloe strokes his face. He indulges for a moment and then pulls away.
Thanks for the tea.
Chloe stands to leave.
This was supposed to be our vacation, right? A little off-grid adventure before the next chapter?
Sure.
It still can be. Maybe just give yourself over to the experience. Float down this river with us for a ways.
Chloe exits. Noah keeps watching from the side. Scene. Everyone is gathered around the dinner table.
I want to dance.
Speaker's still busted.
Go get your guitar, old man.
I'm too comfy here.
Party pooper.
Your fault. Your cooking's too good. Got me feeling like a fat dog ready for a nap.
I've got a guitar.
Go get it.
Yeah.
He trots off and comes back with the guitar, offering it to Silas, who waves it away.
Go on.
Well, what do you want?
Just something I can move to.
Jason starts playing an upbeat rhythmic tune. Delphine dances while the others admire. She pulls Silas to his feet and he joins her in a festive dance. The song and dance finishes with a flourish, applause all around. Jason hands the guitar to Silas, who accepts. He plays a new song, a sexier, more down-tempo tune. Delphine grooves to it, then pulls Chloe to her feet. The two women dance together for a bit.
Ooh, I want more wine.
Chloe dances alone, sharing loving looks with Silas. Then she moves to Jason and dances close to his seat. He watches respectfully but gets uncomfortable as she continues. She pulls him to his feet. Jason tries to make some space between them, but she pulls him close. Delphine returns, filling her wine glass. Then boom! From off stage, a loud explosion is heard. Silas stops playing. Everyone stops. Chloe bends over in pain, grabbing her belly with a wail. Later, night, deep dark. The quiet is pierced by Chloe's muffled cries.
Get her to the water!
There is no water!
Noah, go get your stash!
Silas and Delphine help Chloe to the pools and lower her in. Delphine gets in the pool and tries to capture the trickle in her hands and splash it on Chloe's belly. Noah returns with a jug. Silas opens it and pours it over Chloe. A baptism.
Oh no.
Scene. Day. Jason is reading in a lounge chair. Chloe enters, her belly flat. She carries 2 mugs, handing one to Jason.
There she is. I thought you all were really right.
He sees her lack of baby belly.
Chloe,
I'm okay.
did it...
Surprised we didn't wake you. Felt like we made quite a ruckus.
What happened?
You saw how it started?
Sure, but you seem fine.
Sometime in the night, she just tapped out.
I'm so sorry. Did you have a name for...
Melody. 14.5 ounces, 8 3/4 inches.
It's not time.
We have to make it time.
We're not ready.
Night construction, Dell. They're speeding up. We have to beat them.
What's Noah say?
He agrees.
I don't believe it. How you feeling, love? Silas says you're ready. That true?
If he can help.
We need 4.
If we can wait for Chloe to get her strength back.
We can't wait, Dell. In a week's time, they're gonna blow up more of the bedrock. I mean, my leg's jacked and you're no spring chicken.
The water brought us a strong body. We need to use it.
Am I the body?
Can y'all give us some space? Actually, Chloe, could you bring us some more of your tea? You've been a good guest, brother.
It's been nice to have a comfortable place to stay. I really needed it.
Well, we're gonna need some help. I'm sure you noticed my leg.
Yeah, although...
It comes and goes. When I could soak it, I feel like a young man again. But when I can't, it starts getting to me.
Chloe returns with fresh cups of tea.
Your arrival feels like kismet, is what I'm saying. Good, strong body, solid mind, not afraid of bumps in the night.
Again,
That's not what I mean. I see greatness in you. You could have stayed on the highway all the way to Zion, but you wanted to explore. You wanted to see the less anthropocentric parts of this beautiful land, and I admire that.
It was kind of selfish. I've been needing time to thank my ex.
It's important. Man, nature, they aren't separate. You saw what happened last night.
I don't understand.
Chloe sits beside Jason and takes his hand.
Last night, they blasted the rock to dig another fucking pylon. And our beautiful Melody was just like sagebush or a lizard to them. Collateral damage for their precious fucking copper mine.
I don't see how those things are...
For as long as humans are on this planet, we should work to live in harmony with all the forces and in harmony with all the forces to keep it going, not to exploit it or control it. I've dedicated my life to that. Everyone here has, and we need your help. A small sacrifice as a thank you for our hospitality.
Okay, sure. What you got for me?
Chloe moves closer to Jason, resting her hand on his thigh.
When I was in the Army, I got selected to participate in some covert ops. Nothing overtly imperial, thankfully, but I'm grateful for the training I got because it made me realize just how important it is for me to fight for what's right. You feel me?
I guess so.
Sometimes we have to do violent things to create lasting harmony.
I still don't understand.
We're going to blow up the bridge.
Oh.
Chloe rests her head on Jason's shoulder.
But the world needs copper.
The world has copper. It needs to stay where it is.
Are people gonna get hurt?
Not according to our plan. Just some dynamite, some batteries, the cover of night. Easy peasy.
They'll send people to investigate.
No, they won't.
Those copper fuckwads have been cutting corners on this project. Everyone knows it. Shipping in cheap materials from overseas, using untrained labor. Anything they can do to get the job done fast and cheap. It's capitalism gone wild. The county has to help because the copper guys have them by their short and their curlies. But no one's gonna bat an eye when that bridge goes down.
No one but a few rich assholes is gonna mind.
And you know, Jason, everyone around here grew up knowing about water from the rock.
The Bible story?
This place is called Water from the Rock. It's had that name for thousands of years, long before people started making up stories. When they started piercing this precious aquifer to line their pockets with dead fish and toxic soil, people weren't happy. Everyone wanted them gone. I'm talking outdoorsmen. I'm talking environmentalists, anyone who has sense, who has decency. We're not going to do this for us. We're going to do this for everyone. Nature doesn't need masters. She needs warriors.
Are you a warrior, Jason?
I could be.
Had a guy. Noah's getting the materials together. I'll meet you by the shed.
I see greatness in you, Jason.
Thanks. You guys seem really in love.
We are.
He's not like uncomfortable with this?
We don't own each other. We choose to walk alongside one another. That's funny.
I lied about not being married. We made each other miserable. She stayed friends with her ex and I hated it. He was single, still obviously in love with her. And she refused to stop hanging out with him. I finally made her choose between the two of us, and she filed for divorce a week later.
She chose him?
No, she resented me for making her choose at all.
Ouch.
The funny part was, if she asked for an open marriage, I probably would have considered it. But I didn't feel like I had a choice, so I purposefully eliminated any of the choices either of us had.
Now you're getting it.
Am I?
When people feel threatened, they amass weapons, food, wealth. We have a billionaire problem because we have a soul problem. You have senators cheating on their wives and then voting to repeal women's reproductive rights. They're building settlement on Mars because they're afraid of the natural laws of Earth.
And what are those?
If no one takes too much, there's plenty for everyone.
But property is necessary for keeping the peace.
Who says that keeping the peace is the point?
Okay, but if a stranger just shows up and starts eating your food, you're not going to welcome him.
Didn't we? Humans are of nature, not above it. And nature is violent, like blackberry bushes or grizzly bears. You hurt me, I hurt you back. But hoarding, purposely letting others starve to fill the void inside your soul, that's a new invention. We're just doing what we can to let others see a better path. We want to share that path with you. Will you help us?
Chloe kisses him.
Okay.
Scene, night, materials in piles. Delphine, Silas, Noah, and Jason dressed in black and packing their gear. Chloe sits in the empty large pool.
All right, how we looking, fam?
Ready.
Silas and the others gathered around Chloe and sit in a semicircle behind her. They lay hands on her and each other.
Tonight, we are warriors in service to our world. We wish to heal what has been harmed and do what we can to prevent more hurt in the future. We do this with one another. We do it for one another.
Silas kisses Chloe's shoulder. Jason squeezes her hand. The others clock this small, intimate moment. They leave together. Chloe is alone. Time passes. She begins to sing the hymn from earlier. In the distance, a boom! Then a boom! 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 Then the faint sound of falling debris into water and on rock. All is quiet. Then the trickle. Then the roar. The water flows fiercely into the pools, cascading over Chloe's shoulders. She laughs and cries. Noah and Jason run on, giddy and celebratory. Delphine and Silas trail behind, full of adrenaline. They're thrilled. It takes a moment for everyone to look at the pools, overflowing with hot water, Chloe in the middle. Everyone is overjoyed. Jason rushes to Chloe and kisses her deeply. Surprised among the rest, but too elated to care. Silas jumps into the water and pulls Chloe tight, kissing her with his whole being. Noah leaps in and Jason and he embrace, proud, bonded. He strips off his clothes. The rest follow. They all leap and splash in the hot pools, overcome by ecstatic victory. Scene. Silas and Delphine contentedly plant seeds in seed trays beside the pool. A half-finished greenhouse has already bountiful plants. Elsewhere, Chloe and Jason have sex.
Christ, you make me feel like I'm 19 again.
It's not me.
Are you sure? Silas is okay with this?
Only greedy men define themselves by what they own. Silas is not a greedy man.
Just feel like it'd be hard to share you.
You already are.
Okay, maybe it's not that hard.
He kisses her, then hesitates.
Are you sure he's not gonna be mad?
2 weeks later, and you're just now wondering if it's a problem?
I guess it just seems too good to be true.
Hey, Shh. Silas.
Yeah, babe?
Jason and I are having sex. Is that okay?
Whatever you want, babe.
When no one takes too much, there will always be enough.
They reassemble their clothes and kiss again with the fervor of new lovers. Chloe and Jason join the others.
How are the seedlings?
Summer squash is coming in already.
Incredible.
I love to double check the water's potassium levels.
I'll test it again today.
Noah enters on a bicycle. He ditches it and rushes to them.
They found 2 bodies at the site.
Construction workers?
We scouted.
But they'd been doing night work.
Not construction workers.
The guards. Chloe told me about them.
Did they have a cause of death?
Hauling debris would be a reasonable guess.
They didn't say. They were in pretty bad shape.
Where were they?
Said their bodies were on the first pylon, like they were lying there on purpose.
Do you think they'll come around here?
I'll call Richie, see what he says.
There's no one who would want to escalate to the state, right?
Never underestimate the hubris of the powerful.
All the stupidity.
You tidied up, right?
I'll do another pass.
Did Noah say anything about the scout he did before the action?
I didn't press him.
I'll talk to him.
How's working on the greenhouse going?
Good, just letting the rest of the reeds cure.
Nice work. Now come join me for a sec. It's been really good having you here.
I'm happy too.
We need to talk.
Fuck, I figured it was too good to be true.
Have you ever talked to cops before?
What?
With the body count, this just became serious. They'll possibly send stadies, but it's possible it'll be feds. Stadies will show up in patrol cars, but feds will be in sedans with official plates. And likely local PD for backup. Don't panic, just stick to the script.
It was an accident.
They're gonna wanna call this terrorism. Since 9/11, the feds have had carte blanche to throw the book at granola hippie types. But even standard eco actions rarely end up with anyone dead. So if they're gonna try to pin this on us, they're gonna throw double homicide in there too, and they're gonna love every second of it.
Should we run?
We're staying together. And we're staying here. Do you have a problem with that?
No, sir.
Good. I didn't think you would.
They're here.
Scene, 2 years later. Water flows steadily through the pools. Jason's tent is gone. Chloe, slightly pregnant, enters, carrying a large basket overflowing with native fruits and vegetables. She fills a bowl with spring water and starts washing and sorting them. The landscape is lush. All the native plants to the region are growing dense, verdant, and big. A sort of high desert Eden. Delphine enters, speaking on a wireless landline. She looks vibrant, decades younger than previously.
Oh, that delights me to hear. Of course. You're welcome anytime. Oh, no, thank goodness. The state dropped any pretense of pressing charges. Well, the best and brightest aren't usually taking jobs defending shitty mining interests. 2 years of Sabre, rattling for them to decide those boys up and off themselves. I believe it too. Of course. All right, bye now. The fast horses are coming this weekend.
Oh, good. It'll be nice to catch up with Angela.
How's today's harvest?
Service berries, choke cherries, and I grabbed a bunch of cattails and seagull lilies for flour.
Has Noah fixed the mill yet?
Nearly.
Silas and Jason enter, evidence of dirty work on their hands and shirts. Silas moves gracefully, no sign of the limp. Silas gives Chloe a kiss. Jason kisses Chloe's belly.
How goes the gray water repair?
Silas is teaching me the basic of evap pools.
Off stage, a baby cries.
I got it.
Think the new outhouse will be ready by the weekend?
Just got to sand and fit the seat, and we're good to go.
We got full schedule.
Did you say the fast horses were coming?
Bring some fresh rattlers and hand-me-downs for Harmony.
Thank goodness. She's going faster than the cleavers.
Noah enters, carrying a shotgun and 3 wild turkeys.
Nice crop, bro.
They walked right towards me.
Delphine examines them.
Dressed one and smoked the others?
That's what I was thinking.
Good work, kiddo.
Delphine and Noah take the turkeys off.
This will go well with the juniper berries the households brought last week.
And now we just have to figure out what to do with the other 12 pounds.
She go back down?
Sleeping sound.
Is this a good time to discuss?
Not again.
We just want what's best. It's been a burden for you lately, babe.
Stopping breastfeeding isn't gonna stop the flow. This isn't me doing this, it's her.
Goats are desperate to be milked.
Well, so am I. Who knew that fecundity would be such a burden?
What if we just start rotating goat milk in with your supply? Wean harmony slowly, and maybe your body will follow.
I'm not ready yet.
Okay, love. You do what you need. I'm just saying I want you to have the strength to produce for Jasper.
He'll be fine. He's already kicking like Hercules.
Noah enters and undresses, slipping into the tubs.
Hey, brother, you want to help me with oiling those boards later?
Sure.
Noah bathes in the spring.
The hardness is 75 parts per million. We test it twice a day. Yes, that placing up a provo. Yep, we won't let that happen here. Our water has healed far more rashes than its cause. Of course, potassium fluctuates, usually between 4 to 500 ppm, depending on the season.
Is it Paula?
Listen, Paula, I'm going to hand you over to Chloe, who's really the chemist around here.
Hey, Paula. When are you coming next? I'd be happy to give the water an extra test before you come. No problem at all. I want you to have a peace of mind.
Scene. Months later, Chloe is very pregnant. She calculates the water pressure coming into the tub and records it in her notebook. The water is dull and slow.
How we looking?
There's gotta be a leak.
Pedro's fancy infrared sonar shit said there isn't. It's not an outflow problem, it's an inflow. This aquifer isn't filling in the first place.
How much are we down?
6%? Just like yesterday and the day before? What did the outflow monitor say?
Noah undresses and slips in the tub.
112 per second.
That's nearly a 10% drop.
What the heck is going on?
How's our girl?
She won't go down.
I'll have a go at entertaining her.
Jason nuzzles Chloe.
Oh, babe, you got a tick on you.
Huh? What?
Stay still.
Can you brush it?
Oh, they're really in
Oh,
there.
what? Oh, how many? Oh, God. Oh, fuck. Oh, get them off. Get them. Oh, no, get them off.
Get in the water then. Grab the tick key for me.
Do you have limes out here?
Some.
Nothing like the East Coast.
Jason strips and leaps into the tubs. Noah examines his back. Chloe returns with the key.
They definitely started chowing down.
Oh, I'm sorry. I know this isn't very butch or
Almost
whatever, but...
All good.
Where are they?
Gone.
Where did you put them?
In the water.
What?
Jason
Relax,
rushes to
man.
the edge of the pool.
Relax, man. She's handling it.
She can't dissolve exoskeletons in seconds. Where are they?
They're gone.
I don't believe you.
Okay.
Jason bursts through the water and runs into the house.
What were you doing out there?
Puttering.
You take it easy on him. We want to keep him around.
What do you think I'm trying to do?
Jason returns holding a hand mirror, trying to see the wounds on his back.
Where were they? Please do not fuck with me right now. Show me.
There and there.
There's nothing there.
I pulled 2 ticks off of you, and she ate them.
I'm not stupid.
Chloe gathers his clothes. Noah blows bubbles like a child.
I'll bring you some fresh clothes.
Sorry for freaking out. I just don't like feeling fed on.
You want a shoulder rub? You seem like you could use one.
Oh, yeah, sure. Thanks.
Noah rubs Jason's neck.
I don't know if I ever thanked you for being so welcoming to me. It's been really nice being here.
Yeah. Someone here I'm not related to.
Noah pulls Jason closer. Jason relaxes.
I could imagine it gets stifling, especially for a young guy like you. Did you ever want to travel?
I travel.
Oh,
I rode my bike cross country.
motorcycle?
Nope.
Damn, you're a really impressive guy, Noah.
I have an idea.
About?
The water?
Yeah?
It's no good.
We'll come back.
Not without some help.
There are no more bridges to blow up.
Not that kind of help.
What are you thinking?
I need to test a hypothesis.
That's a little too hard.
Sorry.
What's the hypothesis?
He whispers something into Jason's ear. Jason pulls away, incredulous. Then Noah kisses Jason. It takes Jason a moment to come to. He pulls away again.
I'm sorry.
My bad.
Not with your sister.
She doesn't care.
That's not what I mean.
I thought you liked me.
The water starts to run brown. Mud. Jason doesn't notice at first.
I do like you. Very much. I just don't think that's how...
He notices the murky water.
What the
Jason leaps out of the tubs and runs into the house. Noah, humiliated, sinks below the water. After a moment, it starts to run clear. Noah comes up for breath.
What happened?
Noah gets out of the tub and swims off. Scene. Months later. Chloe stands over the nearly empty pools, despondent. She is no longer pregnant. All the abundant growth has gone brown. Delphine enters looking poorly. She carries 2 mugs.
Drink, Mama. It's from water of your dried nettles and water from the reserve. No harm.
What did we do wrong? If there are no leaks, why are you leaving?
Any goat milk left? Jasper's being fussy.
Freezer. Should be a few bottles tucked behind the rabbit.
How his lungs sounding?
They're getting worse. Oh, and Del, could you make a poultice for Silas when you get a sec? He's hurting today. Anything from Noah?
Christ, is he 12? What a ridiculous thing to run away from home for.
I think he just needed some space for a while. For all this land, we are really on top of each other sometimes.
I like it when you're on top of me.
Oh, you're not my brother.
They contemplate the pools, concerned.
You don't think he'd hurt himself, do you?
God, no, he'd never be so selfish.
Selfish.
You know what I mean?
I was going to Zion.
You said?
Yeah, no, I was planning on meeting a friend at Zion, but I wasn't planning on coming back with them. I had this really fucked up idea. You heard of Angel's Landing?
Popular peak, nice view.
Right. Well, I had this selfish idea to jump off of it. Things were bad. Divorce, job. I was 100% planning on jumping, but then on the way I took this road and I saw the motorcycle and I imagined what my corpse would look like, all smashed and mangled on the rocks. I guess I didn't want anyone to find me like that. I guess that makes me a coward.
I'm glad you didn't.
Really?
We needed your batteries.
Jason pulls Chloe close.
What are we gonna do, Chloe?
We're gonna stay and figure this out together.
Noah enters, riding his bike, towing a small trailer behind.
Noah?
Noah, kid, where have you been?
It's nice to have you back.
I have a nephew, yeah?
Silas creepily exits the house. He uses a cane and looks rough.
He's sleeping.
I have a solution.
Noah gestures to the trailer. A moment as the family considers. Jason lifts the tarp covering the trailer, peeks, and jumps back.
What the fuck, man?
Chloe creeps through the trailer and peeks.
Where did you get that?
Moab?
You rode your bike to Moab?
It's not that far. What did you do? Asked around for the biggest piece of shit in town and everyone said this guy. What did you do? I'm fixing it.
Fixing what?
The water.
Delphine rushes over and looks for herself.
By murder?
Worked before.
Noah, why did you?
Because none of you would. Boy, what are you on about? The bridge collapsed its shit and you all know it. The water came back for 2 years. 2 years because of Carlos and Dave.
Who?
The easement guards.
You know them by name?
You're saying it was those gunslingers eating it? That's the reason the water came back?
It's a data point.
There's no ethical way to get more data points, so...
Started with birds. They lasted a few days. Then larger mammals. An elk gave us a month. A wolf 3. Randall.
You killed
Randall?
a wolf?
The construction foreman.
The motorcyclist?
So I'm thinking a year for each human.
Explain your math.
The easement guards went willingly. I explained the situation and they agreed.
I feel like you're skipping some steps, brother.
Started by bringing them Chloe's tea. Got to talking, became acquainted.
This kid.
I explained the situation and they agreed.
To be murdered?
The word we used was sacrificed.
What the fuck?
I reckon the water quality is better if they go willingly.
Well, that sounds ludicrous.
Check Chloe's notes.
I'm not measuring devotion.
I cross-reference. The little trickles with small game, just regular water. Humans, it's better.
All right,
Sai, you're not serious.
I'm not anything. I let the boy share his piece, and now we have more information.
But what are we going to do?
Well, I think that's worth a discussion.
You want to discuss murder?
Del, if the evidence points in that direction.
Are you serious?
What she means is we are all digesting this information right now.
It's pretty simple.
Respectfully, no.
You saw it work.
We
If
blew
we
up
saw
the bridge.
something work-
Blowing up the bridge did jack shit.
He's right. Stopping construction just prevented it from getting worse. There's no reason it would refill the aquifer.
This boy is delusional and dangerous.
Del, come on.
You know the Battle of Hidden Creek?
Of course we do.
I don't.
Territory disputes.
600 people died here.
600 years ago.
And we got flowing water for...
600 years.
That's bullshit.
That's where the data points is all.
And when there's no ethical way to get data, you know what happens, boy? You cancel the study.
If you want a conversation about ethics...
Are we principled or not? It's that simple.
Since when is our devotion to this cause conditional?
Choice. Family. Choice.
I can make that happen.
Noah.
I can. I got the guards to choose. They begged me for death.
You tortured them.
No, he didn't. He seduced them.
It wasn't hard.
Wow.
I thought it was the allure of this place, the magic of the land. You were doing something else, running some sort of script.
All those trips to the river?
I'm not some creep. I always ask first and they always say yes.
Not this dirtbag.
I got close. We got interrupted, so I took the easy way out.
Easy.
You're sick again, Del, and you all know it.
Well, maybe it's my time.
It's not about time. It's about predation.
That's insane. You sound insane.
The spring is feeding, period. Jasper's health wanes with the water. So does yours and Silas's. When Noah feeds it, it feeds us back. What is that other than symbiosis?
Parasitism! Do you let the ticks and fleas just set up shop in your nethers? No! You tear those fuckers off! You don't open a vein for them!
Look at this place, Del. We have to feed it something or it's gonna keep on sucking the life out of us.
Noah goes to the bottom.
Sis, help.
Chloe goes to the body, lifting the legs. Noah grabs the shoulders. Together, they carry him to the edge of the large pool, his head tipped over into the pool. Jason rushes into the house and grabs a jug of water, handing it to Noah. Noah pours it over the dead man.
This isn't going to work.
Get another.
Jason does. Noah pours another jug over the man.
God damn it! Someone stop him!
One more.
This time, Chloe goes.
That's the last one.
Chloe heeds this and rushes in. She returns with the final jug. Noah retrieves a knife from his belt and slits the man's throat. Delphine turns away. He pours the jug over the man. The water trickles, mingling with the blood. The family looks to one another, lost, afraid. The red water trickles from the top tub into the lower ones, a long moment of defeat. Then a surge. Wild, roaring water fills the tubs. The family watches, aghast. Scene. The family sits in the tub, except for Delphine, who stews off to the side.
This doesn't mean that human sacrifice is the answer.
The family looks to one another. It kinda does, though.
What about continuing to sacrifice birds?
That contradicts the ethos of deep ecology.
Killing for vital needs is permitted.
Well, then we're gonna have to talk about vital needs.
You think a daily mallard is worth more than our lives?
Let's be clear who we're talking about. My life. Silas's life. You three are young and healthy.
For now.
It wasn't birds keeping us going for all those years. It was Chloe.
Chloe?
I suspect they volunteered.
What are you saying?
Ethan, 1 pound, 10 ounces, 4 months. Melody, 14.5 ounces, 3 months. Samantha, 1 pound, 4 ounces, 2 months. Cooper, 15 ounces, 1 month. The spring's been in control the whole time.
This is some bullshit.
You're saying the hot spring has been eating our babies?
No.
Why didn't you tell me?
What could I say that would make sense?
Get the hell away from the water!
I didn't touch the water when I was pregnant with Ethan. It still happened.
You want to provide an endless supply of preemies?
The alternative is murder!
She demands devotees, and it's our duty to provide them.
You're talking about appeasing the old gods.
Through murder.
Why not? every tribe on the planet sacrifice as an act of devotion.
Animals, crops, blood.
Babies.
We don't kill in this, it's to survive.
What is this, Del? What is this other than survival?
She doesn't need our help. She isn't begging, she's taking.
I can do it.
Absolutely not. I'll go on a sex strike.
Keep the water flowing by any means necessary.
At the expense of our lives?
Let's just sleep on it, okay? No need to make a rash decision right now.
You mean besides the corpse out in the woods?
Yes, Del. Besides the corpse in the woods and the bat.
You're sick. This is sick. I'm done.
You don't really believe it.
I believe in the power of belief.
Placebo effect is one thing. This is...
Noah and I grew up Pentecost. Never heard of snake dancing?
You did that?
My friend's brother lost his arm to a snake bite.
Jesus.
Exactly. We both hated it, of course, but Noah got it. Not the doctrine, but the underlying architecture, you know what I mean? He's always been tapped in. The drums, the dancing, the chanting. He understood the magic.
I can't help you do this.
It's worth it.
How can you say that?
If this place dies, we die with it.
Scene. 6 months later. All is brown. The water is nearly gone. Noah enters with a shotgun. Chloe is tidying up, looking a little worse for wear.
How was it?
Harmony's got knocked with the shotgun. Jasper's a little shy with it, but he'll come around.
Anything to shoot at? Could Jasper keep up this time?
His lungs are sounding real crunchy. Silas? You still... How long?
Not even 3 months. I barely realized I was carrying. Didn't keep the water flowing a week.
You write it down?
Of course.
The siblings look around. This place is dying.
No one come out of her room.
Want to go for a ride?
Scene. The pool is a trickle. Jason and Noah enter carrying a body wrapped in the sheets. They drop the body into the pool.
You want to do the honors?
I should, shouldn't I?
This was your choice.
It doesn't feel like a choice.
Even more reason.
Noah hands him the knife.
Can you help me?
Noah scoots close, holding his hand over Jason's on the knife handle.
You want to go wide. Start from behind the ear. There's a lot of muscle there, but then it's easier across, and keep going till you hit the muscle again. The rest is gravity. You ready?
Together, they run the knife across the dead man's throat. Noah grabs a jug of water and pours it over the body. The water starts to flow. The water runs red and fills the pools, cascading down. A bounty. Jason cries.
Remember how grateful he was to get another chance to do something meaningful with his life?
You are convincing when you want to be.
It's not me. It's her. You do it for her.
Noah pulls him close, kissing his forehead. Something between a father or a lover. He holds Jason against his chest, their hands still interwoven on the knife.
This is the right thing. It's working. I love you, brother.
I love you too.
Scene. A beautiful day. The garden is healthy, the pools are full. Chloe and Silas are together in the tub. Silas is still a little stiff. Noah is working.
Hey, have you seen Dell? She was gonna help me with the cider.
Check her room.
Hey, Chloe, where'd you put the extra cable?
Should be in the shed.
Hey, Silas.
Silas rises with some effort and follows Jason off. Chloe and Noah look to each other. The men come back a moment later, dour. Then Silas grabs a chair and whips it across the yard.
God damn it!
Chloe comforts Silas.
Oh, Delphine.
I should have fucking dragged her into the
It
pools!
was her choice not to.
Well, it was a stupid fucking choice! God damn it!
She was right.
About what?
Can't keep hunting for dirt bags whenever things get rough out here.
It's their choice.
No, it's whatever grew twinkly-eyed shit you're working. That's not choice.
Sacrifice is difficult.
It's not sacrifice if it doesn't cost us anything. We don't get to decide what sacrifices for other people.
Cost is too high otherwise.
That's the whole freaking point, Chloe. I have children.
We all do.
No, I have children with my ex.
You've been here for years.
She wouldn't let me see them. It was a brutal divorce, just awful. She brought up my suicide attempts. I brought up her drug abuse. The judge had tons of fun sorting that out. I wanted to fight for shared custody, but she kept dragging it out. Our kids were just these little human sacrifices she would offer up every time she needed leverage. I saw what it was doing to them, so I said I'd walk. No contact ever again, just to spare them more torture. It's the hardest thing I ever did. But no one forced me to do it.
The judge went for it?
The judge loved it. I guess she always thought that my ex could get sober, but I'd never get happy.
Did she get sober?
No idea, but I got happy, so joke's on them. You have a healing effect on me.
Or maybe it's the water.
Maybe whatever old god monster shit that's running the show has finally taken me to. Maybe it's a brain parasite. Or maybe I finally understand what my life is worth and why I held on until now.
No, this is not how this is supposed to work.
No, it seems that's what it's about. It's about intent, right? So maybe this time it'll stick.
This is too much.
You said it yourself. The spring dies, we die with it. She wants sacrifice. I'll show her what that looks like.
Scene. Day. Water trickles into the pool. The foliage is browning and dying back. Chloe enters, dressed in white. Noah follows, also in white. Both stand in the pool. Noah holds a knife. Jason enters, helping a creaky and feeble Silas step into the pool. The family all lower themselves to stand in the main pool. Silas embraces Jason, then Chloe, then Noah.
You have given me so much. Years of my life I thought I would have thrown away without thinking. 2 incredible children, a family. These past 6 years have been the happiest of my life, so much so I'm content and grateful and honored to sacrifice whatever I had left so that our children, our neighbors, and you can all live.
Noah raises the knife. Silas holds his hand up to stop Noah.
This is wrong.
Silas.
It should be me. You're younger and healthier.
None of that matters. It's about will, choice, sacrifice.
Our kids.
Let them know when they're old enough that I did this for them.
No, this isn't right.
Brother! It is.
Jason embraces Silas, pressing their foreheads together, finding peace. Jason steps to Noah. The family puts their hands on Jason.
This is love.
Noah raises the knife and slits Jason's throat. He drops. The water runs red and surges with great cacophony. Scene. Many years in the future, the canyon is lush and green, impossible fruits and vegetables growing in every direction. The pools are beautiful, gushing hot water. A ritual begins. A procession of people robed in white. They enter and kneel in a semicircle around the pools. Finally, a woman, somewhat resembling Chloe, enters, wearing a white ceremonial gown and headdress. This is Harmony. She assumes a position at the top of the pool. She gestures and a woman steps into the pool. Her brother, Jasper, offers her a ceremonial knife with a bow. She takes it with a bow. He embraces the woman, then steps behind her.
This is love.
This is love.
This is love. Harmony slits the woman's throat. She drops into the water. The water rushes red. The assembled devotees dash to the water. End of play.
reminder, the talkback is going to start in a few minutes. If you can and if you're able, please stay. We would love to have you. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you.
It's like the Milano.
Settle in. This is going to blow your mind. Let's give it up one more time for all of the actors. As well as special shout out to the director of the readings tonight, Megan Tabaque. Always and forever, Ben Tusher and Johnny Macias. My co-dramaturg, Gabby Chavez. Co-festival coordinator, Amy Jurgensen. And boss level festival coordinator, Allison Moon. As well as Thank you so much for chatting with us.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, in honor of chronology, let's talk about 210.
Okay, sure.
What was the creative origin of this script?
So this was written in Stu Krieger's 30-minute comedy class.
I know it well.
Sitcom class, exactly. It is directly inspired by my partner and his family. Sorry to out you. At my father-in-law's funeral, there was kind of speculation amongst the brothers whether or not Dad's secret second family would show up. And they did not, but this was my imagination as to what would happen if they did. And so this was kind of the impetus. But yeah, the Kradowskis are based directly on my partner's wonderful family, and the Navarros are inspired slightly by my other partner's, Sandra's delightful family. So yeah.
Are you allowed to say if the secret second family is real, or was it a speculation? But we know it's real?
We have no idea in the real life if it was real. I'm assuming probably not, but Reed and I can discuss that over beers maybe.
They were sacrificed in the
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
They say write what you know, and you were like, I'm gonna up that up.
Yeah, exactly.
Why is it a TV show?
Oh gosh, I mean, I think that what's exciting to me is this idea of these families having to figure out how to be together and form a familial bond in a place that's very unfamiliar to at least the Kradowski families.
Yeah.
And kind of, I feel like it's a series because I feel like this is a kind of continuation of relationships, and I feel like there's a lot of movement in and out. This is a campground, so in my mind I have this idea that it would be really fun to like see what different
groups renting the place would be like, and how they would interact with the families, what they would kind of bring to mind. I think summer camps are so funny because like on one end you have like sports camps, and then you have like BDSM groups, and like all just any sort of interesting groups like will rent campgrounds.
Yeah.
And so I thought it'd be really fun to see like if we put these really strange people into a camp situation, like what fun comedy would come out of it.
I noticed you didn't say theater camps. That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
are you healing from something?
Yeah, it's just like dark memories. Yeah.
I'm so glad you mentioned the comedy element of it too, because I've had the privilege of knowing you as a person writer for a long time, and I think a lesser writer with this prompt would try to use the comedy to subterfuge discussions of mourning, discussions of emotion, discussions of family structure, really hard conversations. Yeah. I think a lesser writer would put a joke on top of it. And yet you manage to have the comedy just kind of effortlessly come out of these characters as if it's just a part of their being, as well as being really honest and candid with their emotions, with their mourning, with their situation. How intentional was that exploration of real talk and comedy kind of within 30 minutes?
Thank you. That's a really lovely compliment and interesting question. I think that, I mean, mourning is weird, right? Like, especially when you're mourning for somebody who's really complicated. Like, it's one thing to be like, he was a saint, we all love him, we all miss him so much, but it's like very different when he was kind of a prick, right? Like, so like, how do you navigate this like patriarch of the family? And how I wanted to see like the different brothers and their different relationships, because again, like, you know, you might all live in the same household, but you all have different relationships with your parents based on the order of your birth, based on your age, based on how old your parents were when they had you. And so I like the idea of exploring the different relationships these brothers had with their own father, and then also how those relationships kind of reflect then on who they are as men now, and then how they relate to this new mysterious family. And like the different levels of betrayal or kind of acceptance that happen in that place.
Yeah, I felt you really honing in on kind of gender dynamics too, informing how we remember this specific patriarch. It wasn't lost on me that our brothers mourned and had thornier memories of our father than our daughter and our ex-girlfriend, ex-mother of children.
Yeah, and I think that's a really important part of it. I think that, again, like masculinity in our culture, like it's very common, especially for just a generation before, like to raise your sons with this coldness. And again, like the line about like, you know, he never beat us because that would mean touching us, and he never touched us. And like that kind of idea of like even violence would almost be more acceptable because at least that would mean there's an intimacy there. And that instead they had this stone wall. And I think that that's a really complicated thing, because again, like how do you mourn somebody who's never really there, right? So that was just an interesting kind of exploration, and I just wanted to play with that. And again, like find those moments of comedy, but also like I think it's really common when we write comedy to be afraid of the feelings and to just want to like just like dismiss any realness with just kind of a laugh. And I really enjoy kind of dramedies where you actually are allowed to like sit with the feelings or like feel like you want to cry, while at the same time like life is absurd, and these moments of just like we crack each other up. I mean, and again, like the Alka-Seltzer line is literally lifted from the Mahalka Boys. That whole like the box not sinking is a real thing that really happened. Oh no! And like, and so like that is like so delightfully insane, right? Like you're all waiting for this like big like pathos moment, and instead you just have this floating cardboard box, and like nobody can leave because it feels inappropriate. And like throwing rocks is like, okay, like we need to get rid of this box because this is too morbid, so we're going to do something even more morbid on top of it. So like I love that kind of like life's nuts and death is insane, and that's just how we deal.
And I feel like for our family, that's going to take at least 5 seasons.
At least, yeah. Paramount, call me.
Yeah. I want to put a spotlight too on your comment about how violence almost would have been a more acceptable form of interaction, as a brilliant segue.
Beautiful segue.
To Water from the Rock. Talk about this play. Where did that come from?
Yeah, so this was a really exciting thing. So this is the last thing I wrote here. I wrote this. This was a really cool project that was created by Megan Tabaque, our professor, who also directed the piece. Yes! So in this workshop this past spring, we wrote a play in 48 hours. So this was drafted in 48 hours.
Oh my God.
And the idea, I think the kind of the trigger for the whole thing was to take two things that are really present in your mind and combine them no matter how dissonant they are. And so in my mind, I had just gone on a hot springs adventure with my partner for spring break, and I've been thinking about the apocalypse. And so I'm like, hot springs and apocalypse. That sounds natural. And then the opening image was actually inspired by a road trip that I took with my friend David here. I don't know if you remember this, but when we were driving when I moved to California after I was an undergrad, we stopped at a real place that is called Water from the Rock.
Wow.
And it's in Utah, and it was a hot springs where the aquifer was pierced and the water was drained. So David had experienced it on the way up in its like full fecundity, and then when he wanted to bring me there because this is an amazing place, and we went down there, we like drove past some cones that were blocking the road weirdly, and then we encountered a very pregnant young woman who was filled with fury because like she was the steward of this land, and the county had just taken her family's future from her by digging. And so that was the inspiration for this. It's like, okay, like what does Hot Springs the Apocalypse look like? It looks like this woman's life. And so from that on, it just became this like, how can I play with this kind of these issues that I've been dealing with, like kind of thinking about like mortality and morbidity and ecological disaster. And again, like moving back to this is in my note, but like moving back to Southern California after being gone and living in Portland for, a while, I got so angry with how water was being wasted in the desert. Like it just like I couldn't ignore it. And of course we had 2 very rainy years, but like still the Colorado River Basin was like legit dying. And I just felt like I was like Cassandra, like what are we doing here? And so part of me was like, this is almost like wish fulfillment. I just want the water to fight back.
Yeah.
And so this was like what would happen if nature just decided to like move into her full strength and just take out what she needs to take out to get the job done.
Wow.
So this was kind of my like giving her like a really stark kind of Cthulhu energy to see what that could do.
Yeah. I have so many wonderful thoughts based on what you just said. I'm going to start with the most immediate. I'm going to backtrack. This idea of bringing the water to her full power. I was so struck by this idea that the water quality is better with a willing participant. And I think my autopilot audience member brain started, and I read it before. Part of me was anticipating someone who had like, it was going to be an instinct of revenge, right? Like if you had racked up the most ecological sins, that's what would cause the better water quality. And yet this is a much harder conversation to have of maybe somebody who has been dedicating their whole life to preserving the beauty and the power and the quality of this water. Maybe their life is actually the most prime for sacrifice. Yeah. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that, in my mind, and again, this is in development still, so this is an early draft. I hope to hone it even further, so feel free to email me if you have thoughts. But I think, for me, there was something about the question, because I think that, like, I wanted to investigate, like, the birth of a cult, right? Like, because I think we hear so many stories about cults, which are fascinating to, I think, many people. But, like, what does it take for rational, intelligent people to believe in the dark gods? What does it take to start believing in magic? Yeah. And so I wanted to have, like, a family of rational, like, pragmatic, rural folk who kind of have to be convinced by this magical system. And so what happens when, like, so we might have Noah, who's kind of already a slipstream character, who already kind of feels like Dionysian in his, like, ability to coerce and cajole and kind of manage the nature and also people. And then what does that magical skill do to this rational family who's just increasingly desperate? And again, like, I think there's something really fascinating about, like, they're following the data, like they're really using the scientific method, but it's leading them in a very fucked up place. And so, like, again, for me as like a intelligent, educated person, I'm like, how desperate would I have to be to make those choices, and to then those choices kind of leading towards this kind of inevitability of, well, then I guess we just kill somebody every year.
It's another dissonance, right? It's this idea that the scientific method bore magic. It's this idea that maybe sometimes harmony means violence. Even the title, oh my god, epiphany. The title Water from the Rock, like visually, aesthetically, feels like it shouldn't happen. And yet this magic is this idea of conjuring something that we thought we couldn't because we've destroyed so much of it.
Yeah, and so like water, and that's also like, I mean, obviously it's a very famous Bible story, but I also wanted to tie it into, like, it's actually the name of the place that was based on the indigenous name, and it was just Water from the Rock, and that name predates the Bible by thousands of years. So it's like, this concept of this magic is not a Judeo-Christian thing. It's a very old thing. It predates just so much of civilization, and I really enjoyed that idea of like, we hear that and we think this very modern thing, but it's actually much, much older. And so thinking about the ideas of the old gods, and again, going back to like, the names are kind of Greek inspired, and like Noah's kind of like a Maenad, and he's able to like control things in a way that's just deeply just not really easily understood. And so I think playing with those dynamics felt just kind of like I wanted to play with these magical systems, but in a very modern, again, like kind of rational world.
Why did we get both readings in the same night?
Two families alike and well, I mean, part of it was pragmatic. Like, I didn't know, because I wrote this play, again, in April, and I didn't know if it would be long enough to give you an evening of theater. But I also kind of, when I saw these two, I have, like, you know, a body of work we all do after 2 years in this program, so I was kind of trying to figure out which pieces kind of went together, and I really enjoyed these ideas of, like, two tents being this comedic version of this family going into the country, and then this much more dramatic version of a kind of similar but different family also kind of interfacing with the countryside and with rural life in a way that they might not be prepared for. So I think it was just kind of fun to contrast the comedy and the drama with those two things, with the theme being very similar. And also, like, I feel like there's a lot about, like, I think one of the things I've been dealing with all for the past few years is mortality. I've been really enjoying kind of exploring these ideas of how the survivors of death manage the emotions of it. And again, in some ways comedic, in some ways tragic, in some ways pathological. And I just kind of wanted to see which directions, like, just kind of, I wanted to poke in all the directions at how people choose death, how people choose away from it, and why.
My sister's the kind of person who probably would have left the room at this conversation because death freaks her out so much. But I'm going to tell her that I think your work is some of the most prime example, or a few of the prime examples of, like, actually what if this conversation isn't? It's hard because it's not, I agree, I disagree, but I wonder if you are doing some revolutionary work in terms of unmasking the fear and the bigness of talking about death.
I mean, I think it's essential to talk about it. I mean, I think that, like, again, like, just really ugly things fester in darkness, and I think we need to be able to talk about it. And I think that it's so weird that, like, death is one of these great taboos in our culture. Because again, like, we're all gonna experience it. And we're all gonna experience it with, like, the people that we love the most. And it's really fascinating. Again, like, I'm very lucky to have my parents still alive, but, like, I feel like part of this is also, like, adrenaline training for myself. Where, like, I'm writing these pieces to, like, prepare for the inevitable. And it's really, it feels like important, like, soul work for myself. I think that's what's really beautiful about, you know, those of us who are writers, to be able to, like, practice feeling deep things in a safe, contained environment, because we can just imagine these really awful experiences, and then we can kind of take a step back from our computer and, like, breathe through it and then dive back in. And I think that's a really healthy way for me to process, like, the inevitability of just, like, pain, you know?
As we wrap up, what ideally would you like all of us to leave the Studio Arts Theater thinking about?
Brain amoebas are terrifying. Brain amoebas are terrifying. Like, I love swimming in fresh water, and I love hot springs, and honestly, like, I think there's something really humbling about, like, the most sensuous experiences of my life also potentially being the most dangerous. So I think there's something really great about, like, again, like, that's why I wanted to write ticks and rattlesnakes and just, like, nature's fucking scary. And at the same time, like, we really don't have a choice because we are of it, and the more we pretend that we're not, the worse it is for everyone.
Oh my god, I wish I could talk to you for 15 minutes. One more round of applause for Allison Moon.
So I'll just bring this on you now, but I haven't had an interview.
Oh, I have to leave. So, do you want to take a picture? Okay.